Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Cheers. I'm going to do something I never did today. I'm going to try my attempt on a classic French dish, Coq Au Vin. And basically in Hoosier, that translates to cock with wine. Well, we can't buy roosters anymore, so we got to buy hens. So that's what I'm using. I'm using a hen. I've got a chicken. I quartered it up the best I could, and I've had it soaking in burgundy now for about 7 hours. And you can do this overnight if you want. I just did it about 7 hours. Here I got about 8 to 10 ounces of bacon cut up. I got a half a dozen cloves of garlic. All I did was smash them and then peel them. And here I got about 8 ounces of baby carrots that I sliced up. There's an onion in there that I chopped up. A leek cut in half moons. You can see the leek. 8 ounces of button mushrooms, and 2 ribs of celery. And we're going to need some chicken broth. And I found this at Fresh Market the other day. A couple of weeks ago I found this. And this is chicken broth. I normally use chicken stock. But the last couple of weeks I've been using this stuff. And this has got more flavor than any chicken stock I've ever had in my life unless I made it myself. This stuff is really good. So if you got a Fresh Market nearby you, go check some of this stuff out. Spices, we're going to need some thyme, rosemary, and bay leaf. We're going to need some salt and pepper, a little bit of flour. We'll use some butter later. Recipes call for tomato paste, but I prefer my Brooks ketchup over tomato paste. So that's what we're going to do. So I got my skillet over here, heating up over medium heat. And we're going to throw this bacon in. This is a few steps in this recipe, but it's a pretty simple recipe, but just a few steps involved. So we're going to start with our bacon. And I got this over medium heat. I want to render all the fat out of this bacon. I want this bacon to get nice and crispy. You know how I am with my fond all the time. I'm talking about fond. We're going to end up having fond 3 different times in this skillet. So we're going to build a layer of flavors all day long. We're just going to keep building flavors. So let me get this bacon spread around, let it get done, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I got my bacon done. So I'm going to take this out of the skillet. You see all the fat that rendered out of it. We'll take it out and let it drain on this paper towel, and we'll use it later. And you see down at the bottom there, it's just a little bit of fond down there. That's the first layer of fond we're going to have. That's what you call bacon fond. It'd be yummy. So now, we'll take our chicken over here. Now I took the chicken out of the wine, drained it on some paper towels, wiped it off, put salt and pepper on both sides, skin side down. And we're going to brown this up. Once it gets brown, we'll flip it over and do the other side. Come on, get out of there. So anyways, that's what we're going at now. And then I may have to do this in batches. I don't know if I can get this other one in there or not. We'll see. So let me get this chicken browned up and we'll be back. Okay, I'm going to flip my chicken now. See what we got here. We got a little caramelization there. Could have cooked it a little longer or a little higher heat, got a crispier skin, but we're going to live with that. So now I'm just going to cook the other side, about like I did this side. And then we'll come back and show you what we do next. But that's what it looks like so far. I could have used a little higher heat on here, I think. But we're going to live with it. So, be back in a few. Okay, I'm going to take this chicken out now. And put it on a plate and just let it rest. And I could have cut this up into pieces, individual pieces, but I just went with quarters since I like dark meat and Tara likes white meat, so that way it's all separated and I didn't have to do all that extra cutting. So we'll just sit here, down here, and let it rest. I'm going to drain some of this fat out of here. The dog will thank me later. And you'll see now I have my second layer of fond. That's the chicken fond. So now we got bacon and chicken fond. And now we're going to put our vegetables in here. Carrots, onions, celery, leeks, mushrooms. Give it a little seasoning. Need a little salt. Salt to help the onions and mushrooms release their liquid. We'll put some pepper in here. And a little thyme and rosemary. Come on, get out of there, thyme. Come on. Cooperate, damn it. A little bit more thyme. And some rosemary. So, we'll let these sweat down for a bit and then we'll come back to you. Okay, the vegetable's been going for a while and man, this smells amazing in this kitchen right now. And you can see most of the fond has come up off the bottom of the skillet. And some of the onions and leeks are starting to soften up a little bit. So now I'm just going to throw my garlic in here now. And like I said, I just smashed this. They're still rough pieces or whole pieces basically. And we're going to let this cook for another couple of minutes. Then we'll be back and show you what we do next. It'll be smelling even more better next time with all that garlic in there. So, be back in a few. Okay, so I got these about where I want them now. And so now we got our third type of fond in there. We got our vegetable fond in there. So at this point, you could add tomato paste, but I really prefer my Brooks ketchup. So we're going to put in a couple of tablespoons of that, maybe a quarter cup. And we'll give this a good mix. Let that heat through. And you really want to brown this ketchup up a little bit, give it a little darker color. So it's got to cook about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. So let this go a couple of minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, you see this is darkened up a little bit. The sugar from the ketchup is caramelized a little bit. And man, you wouldn't believe how good this kitchen smells right now. So now we're going to put us a couple of tablespoons of butter in here. Then I gotta get this butter melted down. And then we'll come back with some flour. So, let's get this butter melted. Shouldn't take long. And there's one. And you add flour depending on how much, how thick you want your gravy. So we're going to do that. About 2 tablespoons. Now we just got to cook the flour taste out of the flour. Get the starches all together. Make some noise, Keith. And I got my fire about medium high now, so it shouldn't take long to get the flour taste out of the flour. You see how it's sticking it up here though? Now at this point, we're going to add the wine that we marinated the chicken in. We're going to put that in there, make a little mess. Of course it's my kitchen, I got to do that.
Well, you're going to clean it up too.
I always do. Well, sometimes. We're going to mix this up. We're going to let this reduce down maybe a half. So we're there now. And we'll just let this cook for a little bit, a couple of minutes, reduce it down a little bit, and then we'll be back. I got to clean my stove. Okay, you can see this it's cooked down, it's reduced, it's thickened up, it's got really dark. I'm not kidding, man. The flavors, the smells in this house is just unreal. So at this point, I got my liver here. I saved my liver for my chicken and I chopped it up. And I don't know about this, but Martha Stewart says it gives it an earthy flavor. So, and she says the chicken liver will cook all up. Let me rinse my hands off. So we'll see, because I'm not a liver fan, but so we'll do that. Then we'll take our bacon, put our bacon back in there. Give that a little mix. And we're going to add, I don't know, maybe 2 cups of chicken broth. And we'll see. Let me get my chicken here. Gotta get our chicken back in. I dropped my tongs on the floor, so I have to pick my chicken up by hand. And we'll get that all nestled down in there. Put the juices in here. Just give this a mix best we can. We're going to bring this to a boil and then cut it down to a simmer and let it go. And we'll come back and get a spoon and where we can baste the chicken like that every so often. So, let me get that done. Let me get this to a boil, put a lid on it, and then cut it down to the simmer and let it cook. It's got to go maybe probably 40 minutes. You can do this in the oven if you want, but I figured I got it all in this skillet. I might as well just do it right here on the stove top. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll be back in a few.
Okay.
I forgot. Got to add some bay leaf in here. I'll put one. I'm going to put 2 bay leaves in here.
That's 3.
Oh, okay, 3. Remember that. We have to dig them out later. Get them down in the juice. So we got 3 bay leaves in there. And we'll fish them out later. So, there you go. Be back in a few. Okay, I just took the lid off of this. Basically, my chicken's done right now. But I want this sauce to reduce down a little bit more. So I just took the lid off and we'll let it keep cooking for another 15 minutes or so. I got my potatoes on. I just put the lid on over there, and we're going to make some mashed potatoes with this in a minute. So there we go. We're going to let this cook, reduce down hopefully a little bit. We'll see.
If not, so I'll just get gravy.
Yeah, well, I'll feed it to the dog if nothing else. So, but I keep making a mess and I keep cleaning my stove up halfway ass. But anyway, that's where we are right now. So we'll be back when the potatoes get done. We'll make this a plate. Show you what we end up with. Okay, so that's what I ended up with. Coq Au Vin, Hoosier style. This is my first time ever doing this dish. I wanted to do it. I googled a dozen different recipes. I came up with my own version of it. Terry's already critiqued the shit out of it. Tell him what you think, Terry.
Well, you need to use smaller pieces of chicken.
Okay, and I told her, I said the classic recipe calls for thighs and legs.
Need to let it marinate longer.
I should have left it set overnight, which most people do. I let it go about 7 hours.
No.
What else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's her opinion. I'm going to taste my potatoes and my gravy first. I taste the herbs right off the bat. The herbs, the wine. And I know the classic recipe calls for fresh herbs, but trust me, I can't afford fresh herbs the way I go through them. But that is edible. Give the chicken a piece of taste here. That's creamy to me. That tastes good to me. Yeah, real good.
Well, your chicken, a piece of chicken is smaller too.
Yeah, and I'm eating a thigh. That's the good part of a chicken. That's why I like the dark meat. That's the good meat.
Whatever.
That's good.
I mean, mine's not bad. I just think that as big as this piece of chicken was, it should have marinated longer.
Yeah, I could have let it go overnight like I should have. And I could have used thighs and legs like I should have. But you don't like thighs and shit. So.
No, not really.
A lot of steps to this recipe. Huh?
Never stopped you before.
No, a lot of steps to this recipe. But really it is a simple cook. And it's just an old rustic French dish. Would I do it again? Oh, hell yeah. I learned a few things. So, that's what I did tonight. Y'all, I'm like 14 away from 5,000 subs. Give me a like, a share. I really appreciate a share. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to my channel. Help me reach that 5,000 mark before Christmas, if you don't mind. I'm going to go eat my Coq Au Vin. That's French for cock with wine, as the Hoosiers would say. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time. And drink up.